Well, hello. Welcome back to another exciting edition of Coffee with Stephen. This week's blog is unfortunately not a particularly fun one to write. It has to do with what I consider to be the travesty of justice that took place in San Francisco over this last week. This involves the Kate Steinle case. As you may remember, Kate Steinle was murdered by an illegal immigrant. Excuse me. Kate Steinle died as a result of the actions of an illegal immigrant when the suspect supposedly found a stolen firearm beneath the park bench on Pier 14, and while aiming it at a sea lion, either accidentally or purposely, that remains to be seen, pulled the trigger and ended up ricocheting around off the ground, which ultimately killed Kate Steinle. The jury, as I'm sure most of you know, found him completely innocent of all murder or manslaughter related charges. The only conviction that the prosecution was able to secure was a felon in possession of a firearm. Now, there was a major debate about San Francisco sanctuary city laws and the fact that the suspect was, in fact, an illegal alien. That information was kept from the jury. And as I mentioned in the blog, that was probably the correct decision on the part of the judge. Not that I believe it would have made any difference at all. I think that the jury in San Francisco essentially engaged in an act of what we call jury nullification. One of the really problematic points was that the jury had requested to see the actual firearm. The judge denied that request. This is the firearm. Okay, this is a SIG 239. It's the same firearm, except this one's a 9mm. The one that was used was a .40 caliber Smith & Wesson. But this is functionally the same firearm. Now, one of the questions turned on the trigger press. The firearm is stored in double action, meaning that to press the trigger, it's going to require roughly 12.5 pounds of pressure before the gun would go off. That is not something that is going to happen accidentally. The suspect clearly intended to press the trigger, and that was kept from the jury. Again, not entirely sure it would have made any difference at all. I believe that the jury, after acquitting the suspect of all counts, including involuntary manslaughter, and involuntary manslaughter was without question the charge that should have stuck. It's the one that makes the most sense. And yet they acquitted him. And the only rationale that can be derived for the acquittal on that is going to be that the jury was more interested in the class of an individual that the suspect was, rather than the actual actions that he engaged in. And that is problematic not only for our society, but for our judicial system as well. Anyways, read the blog. If nothing else, it'll give you a factual understanding of the case. It'll probably make you upset because that's how the majority of us feel right now. Anyways, as always, train constantly, train consistently, and train with purpose. And stay safe. Thank you, and until next week, thanks for having coffee with me.